One mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Absolutely, man. Hump day here on the One Mic with Big Mike show, or as my homie said earlier this morning to me, guess what day it is? Trump Day. Oh, man, it's going to be one of those days, man. One of those days today. Hopefully, you know, the show can bring a couple smiles to your face. We can goof around a little bit, talk a little bit of sports today. It's Wednesday. It is Hump Day. Usually on Today, my man from Sporting News, Matt Lutovsky, joins me to talk about some fantasy football, but he couldn't make it tonight, so we got a fill-in for him. The homie Willie, what is Willie's last name? Lovato. Willie Lovato from Fantasy Football 24/7 is going to fill in at the bottom of the hour. At the top of the next hour, my homie, a friend to the show, comedian actor Guy Torry is going to join me. We're going to talk about this whole the situation in the country with Donald Trump. We got to talk about his favorite basketball team, the Lakers. They seem to think, you know, it's time to have some more fun watching Lakers play basketball. And he got a new special coming up. He got a special coming on tonight. Check your local listings on BET Unsung, Sibling Rivalry. I guess it's profiling his relationship with his brother, Joe Torry. For those of you who are, I guess, 30 and above, maybe. The old Def Jam days, the Poetic Justice days, you know, Joe Torry. So I'm going to try to, let it loose a little bit today. As soon as I got up this morning, man, all I saw was just anger. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to calm down, man. As far as everything else goes, we're going to kind of play this thing by ear. I got some, the Hawks about to play. The Hawks played the Cavs last night, handed them their first loss, so big up to the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to see them play the Miami Heat here in just a second. I got it on my TV. The college football playoff rankings came out last night, so there's that. Of course, we got On This Day, so we're going to try to get On This Day and at the bottom of the next hour, since we're going to do these guests back-to-back. I even mentioned, man, I'm sorry, see, everything's thrown off. I wasn't here on Monday, so now everything is thrown off. I'm here live via Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app for all your mobile devices if you're one of those people who like to, take your sounds with you. I'm also on TuneIn if you have that app on your phone, and as well as on the One Mic with BigMike.com website. The show is also available on demand. All my shows are available on demand going back to last November. You can catch it on demand on all those 4 outlets I just mentioned, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube, where you can get the audio and the video. The video that I'm streaming live right now on the old Facebook page, so make sure you head on over to Facebook, like my page. It's at the number 1 MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. That's the same handle for my Twitter and my Instagram, so hook your boy up with the follows on that joint as well. You can be a part of the show. You guys want to talk about the election situation? Everybody has something to say today. Everybody on my timeline and on my page and all that kind of stuff had a bunch of stuff to say about what happened yesterday in the election. So if you want to do that, you can call me. Call me, man, at 404-902-8104. You can record a message. Say whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Say whatever, man. And I'll try to get to them all and play them on the air tonight. You can also text that number, 404-902-8104, if you don't feel like having your voice being heard. Or you can jump inside my live interactive chat room by simply listening to the show on Spreaker or on the Spreaker app, or, of course, on my website. There'll be a little thought bubble icon on the streaming player. Just click on that. It'll get you inside the live interactive chat room. Or, finally, if you're looking at me on Facebook, weirdo, you can simply just leave your comments below the video. the live stream on Facebook, and I'll get to them. You can do all that stuff if you got fantasy football questions as well. If you got you want to know about a trade proposal or somebody to pick up off the waiver wire, if you're looking to cut somebody or whatever, and you want to ask my fantasy guest Willie Lovato. I'm sorry, I'm mixing two dudes up, Lutovsky and Lovato. Willie Lovato from Fantasy Football 24/7. You guys want to leave your questions for them or ask your questions, you can do it in all those same ways as well. Let me do that real quick. Pin this video to the top of my page so it's easy for me to find. So yeah, what else we got today? Because I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad my homie Guy was like, yeah, dog, I'll come on and I'll spit at you. I saw him on ESPN this morning, and I was like, man, he probably gonna be messing with them cats all day long. He ain't gonna feel like messing with me, but a true G he is, man. The dude is gonna come on the show, and we gonna chop it up. We gonna get busy on whatever it is that there is to get busy about. Let's see what else that's all we got, man. That's it, man. That's all we got. So first and foremost, let's talk, man. Let's me and you talk. I've told you guys for a year now, while this is a sports talk show, there will be times where life happens, man, where things happen that I feel should not be ignored. Shout out to the homie Emmett Bean checking in on the old Facebook live stream. Good evening to you as well, my sir. Shout out to my folks over in Italy, man. We got some soldiers over in Italy checking the show out on Facebook. They hit me up saying that they were glad I was doing it, and now that he's deployed in Italy, he could check out the show now. So shout out to the soldiers over there on the Veterans Day weekend, or Veterans Day week. That's what you say? Yeah. So shout out to the soldiers over there in Italy, man. I told you guys, look, yeah, it's a sports show, but it's my show, and it's going to be filled with a lot of my thoughts, and my thoughts don't always just revolve around sports, feel me? So last night, the election is going on, the long-awaited, drawn-out election is happening, and I ain't do what y'all did, what a lot of y'all did. I ain't look at, that MSNBC and all that, and CNN. I ain't look at all that. You know what I was watching? The coverage on after I watched basketball last night? I was looking at the coverage on Comedy Central. My man Trevor Noah, what's the other? Roy Wood Jr. Yeah, it was a crazy feeling. Like when you see comedians, and I gotta ask Guy about this. When you see comedians, like, man, I don't even feel like joking. like that's your gig, and it's like I don't even feel like joking, man. This is bull. It's like, yeah, it's like a different kind of tension. You know what I mean? So I watched that, and then after that, this show called At Midnight comes on. It's a real funny ass show if y'all not on it. It's a Comedy Central situation, kind of a game show-ish type thing, but it's real ignorant and funny. Because it's comedians. It's comedians that are the contestants. This dude that's on the Comcast commercial, he's also the host. So it's real funny. So anyway, after that went off, after the Trevor Noah situation went off, that came on. It had the same kind of tenor to it. You know what I mean? Like, they was trying to be funny, but Cass was like hella nervous. So this is what I'm watching last night, and I'm watching as they report the states coming in and all this kind of stuff. And at a certain point, I think most of the political folks, they went on ahead and called it. You know what I mean? But people was like, there's still hope. She can still pull it out. But apparently in politics, there's certain certain states that once you get those states, it's a wrap. And like when folks was like, Donald Trump is about to be the president, I just went to bed. Like a kid when you about to get an ass whipping. I was like, man, damn this. If I go to bed, it won't happen. But then I got up this morning. Oh my God. I got up this morning and man, like everybody was like mad as hell and blaming everybody. You third party, you non-voters, and everybody's like going crazy. And I'm like, y'all got to calm down. First and foremost, let me say this. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here. Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Also live on TuneIn and my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. Let me say this. You got to understand something. We got to come back to reality. That it's still, whatever you think about the country, it's still America. So we don't deal with like, like the Gaddafi type of folks, or the Castro types, or the cat in North Korea. It's still, for whatever, better or worse, it's a democracy. There's a 3-tier system called, and it allows for checks and balances. So with that being said, we can't just look at this situation like, oh man, Donald Trump. Like, I just saw the homie on Facebook going off a few seconds ago talking about, Cass is talking about we about to be back in chains. Come on, man. Come on. And I say we, meaning black people. Y'all got to come on with the come on. That ain't happening. You know what I mean? I mean, not to a greater degree than it's already happened with the prison population and poverty and drugs and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, we got to make sure we keep everything in a perspective. Like, this is the system, and it's not one of those things. I always talk about this on the show about running, running from hypocrisy. Like, it can't be a situation where the system is broken when it don't turn out the way you feel like it should. The system is the system. If it wasn't broken when Barack got in there, it can't be broken now. It is what it is. The people, for lack of a better word, have spoken. You know what I mean? We're not talking about, like, the weird thing to me about this whole thing is like that whole, like, she won the popular vote, but the Electoral College, you gotta miss me with that. You gotta, like, excuse yourself with all that. It don't make any sense to me. My rationale, maybe it's simplistic in its nature, but it says to me, if American Idol can count every vote and they can make sure everybody only vote a certain amount of times of what it is, the government can do it. This old antiquated, based on the times of slavery, and I went and read it again today, the whole Electoral College situation. Yeah, man, it was created to be fair to slave owners. Straight up. That's probably the best Cliff Notes way of me putting it. You understand? It's like, that's where it come from. And here we are in 2015 still adhering to it. So if you talk to me, like me speaking for myself, I've never trusted the system. You know what I mean? I've always felt like it was designed to make sure the things that are wanted to happen. Especially on that level. On the level when you start talking about the presidency. Maybe on lower levels, it's a different story, but at that level, nah, your vote don't count, and that's the lie that gets told and gets spread throughout, especially the black community. The place where I used to work at, where it's running commercials and promos. Your black votes count. I live in Georgia, B. They don't. Did y'all see the map? They don't. In order for that broad to have won Georgia, like, there aren't enough black votes here for her to win this state. You're outnumbered. 12% of the population. I don't know what the percentage is in this particular state that I'm in, but the reality is when everything, you get past the gerrymandering and the voting places getting shut down and the redistricting and all that kind of stuff, systematically things are put in place to where your vote does not count. So here's the thing that I want to make sure I get out, that I make sure I speak to you guys about. I understand the people who say they vote as a way of paying homage, to people who came before us, who sacrificed for people of color to not be turned away at the poll based on the color of their skin. I understand that, you know what I mean? And I'm not the dude that's I'm not going to argue with nobody on the merits of vote. We're not going to argue about it. I feel the way I feel. And like, if you're someone who feels opposite or feels the way I just described, I understand. There's no argument to be had. But it's like that thing where people feel like there's a need to shame people into exercising a right. That's crazy and it's ridiculous. And here's the hypocrisy that I'm going to point out in that regard. You remember how mad a lot of people were when they couldn't understand how racist white people in America were mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking the knee. And you kept on saying what? You kept saying that's his right. That's his right to express himself in that way, right? Because a right, ladies and gentlemen, is not a mandate. It's not something that you have to do. I don't have to own a gun. I do, but I don't have to. It's my right to. And voting is the same way. The misnomer, and I guess the thing that people feel better about saying is saying that people died so that, and then I have to vote because people died. People died for me to be able to exercise my right and have a choice. That's why those people got stoned and chased and beat up at those polling places. It wasn't so I would be forced to do anything. I wouldn't be forced to vote, and that people wouldn't have the ability to tell me that I can't vote. And in this situation, like, I honestly feel like America got what it deserved. It was so crazy last night when I saw like white people on my TV and like shaking and damn near in tears. Today, not Jeff Van Gundy, I'm sorry, the other Van Gundy, the one that's coaching now, Stan Van Gundy. He's embarrassed for America. You know what I'm saying? People ain't realized the country was that racist. People ain't realized the country was that misogynist. How you didn't? You know what I mean? How you didn't know that? I mean, it's been that way forever and ever and ever from the creation of the country. But for whatever reason, man, it's so crazy to me. White people got to get hit in the head with it like a sledgehammer before it's like, man, something wrong. You know, the judicial system, perfect. Till OJ get off, the system is broken, needs to be fixed. I mean, like the voting system, perfect. Well, until like the black man won back to back, and then now you got a crazy man, a legitimate crazy person. It's the president of the United States. Like, I'm sorry if y'all don't see the humor in that. Good God, what the hell, man? This is the most awesomely stupid thing possible in life, and it happened for real. Yeah, man, this is America. Let me tell y'all something. I heard a term last night. Shout out to my man Peter Coyle checking in the chat room. You guys want to join him in the chat room because we gonna talk today, B. We gonna talk. You guys can just if you're listening on Spreaker or the Spreaker app, or of course my website onemicwithbigmike.com, just click on that little thought bubble icon that you see on the streaming player to get you inside this live interactive chat room. You can also do what the homie has done. The homie Emmett Bean has done. You can leave your comments below my streaming video on my Facebook page. The Facebook page is at the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Or you can text the show at 404-902-8104. Oh, is that what's vibrating here? let me see what's going on here real quick. There is somebody who called and left a message. You guys can do that if you want to. I think it's Renee though. Yeah. All right. So anyway, this is America, man. This is what this country is. I don't know if we got spoiled over the last 8 years and we thought that, there was some sort of forward progress happening. Nah, that's what's called an aberration. I firmly believe the day Barack Obama got elected, like this same day 8 years ago, I remember telling my old lady, or it was actually at night, I remember telling her that, yeah, this has been put in place so they can blame this dude and act like George Bush never existed. This dude with barely any experience. When he started, he ain't had no money. It was like, yeah, he'd be the perfect dude. Kind of find out, he got his ass in there and did work as much as he was allowed to do. Let me say it that way. You know what I mean? And ended up with a second term behind it. Yeah, real talk. So anyway. Let me get back. Let me get off my Donald Trump thing and get back on message, because I made sure I put some notes down for this, because I didn't just want to start rambling and getting into that whole thing. Because the reality is this, man. Like, things is about to get mad disrespectful in this country, man. Like I was like sending messages back and forth with people on Facebook, and I'm kind of like tweeting these things as jokes. Like, how many of y'all at work with white people who acting like they mad but they really voted for Trump, and things like me being silly, but like folks is like responding like, yeah, man, these white folks at my job, they like hella braggadocious now. Like, they bold. Like, yeah, see, it's about to get like real crazy, man, and disrespectful. Look, ain't nobody getting put back in no damn chains and all that kind of stuff. That's not what it is. You know who really got to be frightened, and I'm gonna be real about this. Our gay brothers and sisters, and our trans brothers and sisters, the ones who found their way under Obama to experiencing just normal human civil rights. Like this dude and his wacko ass vice president is like immediately we about to repeal all that gay marriage, all that like those protections for gay people not to be able to get thrown out of their crib and their babies not being able to be seen by pediatricians. We about to throw all that stuff out. Like that's the real deal. That's like the immediate impact now. Like as a black man, America already hated me. You know what I mean? What I'm gonna be scared they're gonna hate me more. They're gonna hate my black ass more. Nah, man. But there are certain people, man, because these two wackos is gonna be running things and forcing they BS agendas down people's throats. Those people got a lot to fear, man. And quite frankly, all joking aside, I fear for them. Anybody who's living life and is not being treated as a person. It's not something that I'm down for at all. I can joke and laugh about a lot of things, man, but when it comes to people's rights, yeah, you gotta miss me with that. And that's kind of my problem with religion, man. It's like I'm not the dude. I don't really parse it out and separate it into different categories. I guess it's the same team, man. Just because you choose not to be that much of a douchebag, I know what the rules say. You know what I mean? Like, and it says treat gay people like crap. So if the people who are also that way or believe in those things don't say, stop doing that, rather than just saying, well, I don't believe that part. I don't believe in that. I want to treat people good. That ain't enough, man. That wasn't enough for black folks. It ain't enough for these folks. So, I mentioned waking up this morning and watching the surprise, and I've been on this from like early on in these campaigns. Like, I don't believe anyone is more surprised than Donald Trump. Like, damn it. What the hell happened? Now I got to do work. I got to come to work every day. Like, this dude is the president. He ain't like some dude that slapped his name on a building, call it Trump, whatever. Nah, man, this dude is the president. And everything that dude should have done to become president, he did none of it. He ain't let out no tax returns. That dude was like, I'm not going to quit doing business. It's like he's supposed to put it into a trust, all his business into a blind trust is what they call it. He was like, a what? Pfft, please. Like everything. And then the other part of that aspect of it is this. This ain't even a situation like Donald Trump is going to be like, yeah, thank you to this person. Thank you to this person for helping me get here. That dude is going to honestly believe in his heart of hearts, and he's damn near right. He did this by himself. Like, he turned out and turned up an asshole and was like, bet. This the same dude that's like, I can walk out in the street and shoot somebody and it's still going to be all good. He wasn't wrong. Look at what's happening. Like, once you even get past the whole grabbing pussy thing and all that kind of stuff, okay, let's say you can possibly get past the president being that. Like, you gotta start talking about like his business dealings. He's a shady character, cheating people out their money, always in the court with somebody. That's ridiculous, man. For that dude to hold the highest office, he's walking around straight up. And I didn't even realize this till like a couple, maybe weeks or months ago, on 60 Minutes. Like, when people say, he's got his finger on the button, that's literal stuff. There's a dude that's walking around with the president, and he has a suitcase in his hand. That's his job. He carries a suitcase, so if something pop off, the president can literally hit the button and blow people to smithereens. And that dude has it. That's so awesomely ridiculous. That's like a cartoon, cuz. Like, it shouldn't even be something that happens in real life. It's like one of those Marvel things, like the evil genius has the machinery that can blow up the damn whole world, and you need some superhero to stop it. But those people don't exist. Donald Trump does. Golly. That's understanding America. Like, it's one of those things, like, just when you think things can't get any more stupid, like you realize that the police ain't your friend. They'll kill you just like any stranger, any psychotic stranger. You know what I mean? You realize that, but then it's like, wait, it's real, and it can get worse. Maybe not as bad as some of you guys think it is. Like, we going back to slavery and all that kind of stuff. The hell you say? If that's the case, I'm about to start making bootleg copies of the Nat Turner movie and just mail them out to people randomly to let you guys know that, it ain't really popping in 2016. But nah, I want to, my man, I am No Dose up in this joint. Big L, what up, homie? I am No Dose saying he's glad I can find humor in it. Trust me, my man, the humor is this. That America is exactly what I thought it was. And the humor is towards the people who are surprised. And I started to say earlier, I heard this term last night that I never heard before in this context, the white ghosts. And what those people are, those are the forgotten people, the forgotten white men in this country who have always registered to vote, but never felt the need to take their ass to the polls and cast their vote. You understand? And now, these same hillbilly white boys, Jeb and Billy Bob and them, they found a man. They racist ass, homophobic, misogynist. They found a man, and these white ghosts came out. Like, that's why people are like pissed off. Like, man, these damn polls was wrong as hell. No, not really. They just did the same thing they've always done. They just kind of forgot about these white ghosts because they were ghosts. They weren't there to be counted. Then you turn around and Big Tuesday or Super Tuesday or whatever, and it's like, what the hell's going on? These states that old girl was supposed to win, boom. These places that she was locked up for, boom. People showed up and showed out. Black people, listen, man. I'm gonna give you guys a quick math lesson. I know I ain't the one to do it, but don't be too hard on yourselves. Don't be. Somebody unfollowed me this morning, threatened me with bodily harm because I ain't voting. And I was like, my man, I need you to understand something. I'm about to be 40 years old. I don't fight nobody. Like right now, like right here on my console, I'm looking at my pistol because I understand. I live in Georgia. I understand what stand your ground is. Don't try me. You gonna have holes in you. And I'm not no gangster. I'm not no rough tumble dude. That ain't my world. Like when dudes start talking about putting their hands on me, like I'm way too old for that nonsense because I ain't vote. Because you don't understand what a right is, because you can't count and understand that as a black man, black person, I'm 12%. This ain't even talking about a voting population. This the entire like your babies, 12% of the population. So then when you cut the number out for people who can't even vote for age reasons, felonies, once you do that, how much influence do you ever think you've ever had as a black person in this country? Ever? Be smarter, man. Because once you whittle it down, you might be talking about 5 or 6%. They don't give a damn about you, man. They don't. Like y'all really think y'all put Barack Obama in that White House? Come on, man. Do some reading. It was young white women. That's who put that brother in there, man. It wasn't your black ass. He could have got every black person in the country to vote for him. He would have lost in a landslide. You understand that? That's real talk. So all this like, any black person that didn't vote, I'm going to see about you. Yeah. Yeah. That's what everybody needs. Don't do that, man. Like, don't feel that your emotion and that female side of you that tells you that your actions need to be led by emotions need to cause you to do something that's going to hurt your whole family. That's real deal Holyfield, man. I'm going to take a break. Get my man Willie on. We're going to talk some fantasy football, man. We're going to get this thing back on track for a little while before at the top of the next hour, my man Guy Torry, comedian, actor, brother of Joe Torry. Damn, is he funny? Gotta be old enough to get that reference. Def Comedy. Oh, I saw Def Comedy Jam's coming back. Russ is bringing it back. That's pretty ill, man. Hopefully it's as good as what it was when we was kids. I'm going to get to that Stephen A. Smith thing here in just a second, Big L, after I talk to this homie Willie Lovato, man. He's going to talk to us about some fantasy football stuff. You guys can drop your questions in, your fantasy lineup questions into my chat room on Spreaker or the website. Just click on that little thought bubble icon where you can leave them below my video here on Facebook. Or you can text them to me at 404-902-8104. I'll be back in about 90 seconds with the homie, Willie Lovato.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Go Caleb! Come on, hit a homer, Jesse!
Let's go, guys!
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's true. I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obvious.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
Yeah. This is why I'm hot. Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show here on this Hump Day. Yeah, or as the big homie Rob Calloway called it. He called it Trump Day. This idiot called me this morning talking about guess what day it is. Trump Day. What an idiot. What an idiot. Anyway, man, welcome back to the show. I'm here on Spreaker.com, on the Spreaker app. Tune in. Also, I'm live and direct starting at 7 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And also, you can check me out on the website, onemicwithbigmike.com. Make sure you check out the Facebook Live video stream at the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. That's the same handle you're going to use for my Twitter and my Instagram. So it is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. Each and every Wednesday, we get you guys ready for the next week of fantasy football. Usually we do it with Matt Lutovsky, but we got a special guest today. My man Matt couldn't make it, but we're going to still do the Matt Lutovsky drop. Here we go.
It's time to talk fantasy football.
Let's have some fun. Let's go.
It's time to get those lineups set.
Enzo caught. Touchdown. Yeah. Yes, sir.
With Matt Lutovsky of Sporting News.
Put him on the board. Championship.
On One Mic with Big Mike.
Like I said, not Matt tonight. The homie Willie Lovato stepped in last minute, hollered at him last night. He was like, yep, I can talk fantasy football. I was like, okay, cool. I need to talk fantasy football. He's the founder of Fantasy Football 24/7 on Twitter. They're at Fantasy Ranks. Let's welcome in right now Willie Lovato. What's up, homie?
What's going on, man?
Thanks
for having me on.
Everything's good, brother. Now, I noticed the name. You got the same name as one of those pop singers. Any relation? Demi Lovato?
No. Hey, I mean, I wish I was. Tell her to cut me some change, but no relation.
No doubt. All right, man, let's get started here. First of all, let's start with the bye week. So we got Buffalo, Detroit, Indy, and Oakland on bye. So that means no Shady, no Matt Stafford, no Andrew Luck or T.Y., no Derek Carr, no Mari Cooper, no what's the kid's name? Murray. Crabtree, with all those guys out, those fantasy guys out. Who do you think people should be looking at as far as the waiver wires or guys to fill in those spots that we're missing this week?
Well, really, as far as waiver, I think it's going to come down to kind of your team that you have already and how you're looking for the playoffs. I mean, obviously, fantasy playoffs are going to be here shortly. And if you drafted well and you've been playing the waiver wire, then, yeah, you're probably in a good spot, and it might be a good time to maybe start picking up some insurance for your number one guys that you already have on your team. So let's say you're you're already locked to get in the playoffs. I'm not going to advise you to go pick up a Peyton Barber if you don't need him. Might be a little bit smarter to go out there and pick up an Alfred Blue or, Mike Gillisley if you're a Lamar Miller or a Shady owner, like you said, on bye this week. If you are looking for some guys, because of the bye weeks, like you said, there's a lot of firepower that's not going to be out there this week. I do like Eli Rogers, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Cowboys this week.
Okay.
And you could probably get him in most leagues that you're in for sure.
He went over 100 last week, didn't he?
And he did. 6
Absolutely.
receptions, had 10 targets, and it looks like he's starting to build something with Big Ben, and the matchup's good for sure at home against Dallas. They're going to be without cornerback Maurice Claiborne. Gary Church still not going to. He's out with that broken forearm, so I think he could have a big game.
Let's talk injuries here. And by the way, I'm talking with Willie Lovato. He's the founder of Fantasy Football, founder of, if I can say it in English, Fantasy Football 24/7. Make sure you check him out on Twitter at Fantasy Ranks. Injuries. So Doug Martin's going to be back at practice. You mentioned Peyton Barber. Who are some other guys that are coming back from injury or maybe on their way back from injury that if we haven't taken a look at them or maybe designated for return that maybe we should start taking a look at as some people start to make their playoff runs?
I think, like you said, Doug Martin, I was kind of surprised to hear he was back today in practicing. Jaquiz Rogers, another name that to keep an eye on, too, see if he can come back and contribute to the Bucs, who have went through more running backs than I can remember a team going through for sure. Dion Lewis, I think he's a guy to keep an eye on. If he hasn't been snatched up, I think he's worth picking up and stashing on the bench. We saw what he could do last year, and Tom Brady loves to throw that ball to his running back. So I think if you can snatch him and grab him, that's a good one to pick up too.
Staying on that same kind of topic with the injuries, so we saw guys go out this week. Jeremy Maclin, Derrick Henry, a guy who a lot of people thought was going to be starting by this time, but luckily smart people like me who drafted DeMarco Murray wasn't hearing that noise. The Hearns kid in Jacksonville, he's injured. Darius Haywood-Bay, and I guess you kind of addressed the Darius Haywood-Bay situation, talking about the new chemistry that Roethlisberger's having with his slot receiver up there. But let's talk Maclin and Henry. Macklin's going to be playing, if he does play, with looks like Nick Foles again, because apparently Alex Smith doesn't have a concussion, but whatever. And then there's Derrick Henry. Moving on into the playoffs, DeMarco Murray had a little toe thing early on, and some people thought that Derrick Henry was going to be a significant handcuff to happen. Give me the breakdown on specifically Maclin and Henry, as well as on Hearns, because of what we've seen Blake Bortles do in a lot of garbage time this year.
Yeah, I think starting out with Maclin, like you said, he has that groin issue he has going right now. But this guy's struggled even when he's been healthy. Mm-hmm. He had back-to-back 8 touchdown years, and I think a lot of people expected that to hold up. That definitely hasn't been the case. He only had one game of 75 yards or more, 1 touchdown on the season. Even if this guy's healthy, I don't feel too comfortable rolling him out there just based off what he's been doing. And then if Foles is still at the helm, I think there was some talk about how he looked early or how he looked good early, but I don't think it's a question. I think Smith is the better quarterback, and yeah, I'm not comfortable with Maclin moving forward regardless.
And what about sorry, go ahead.
As far as Derrick Henry, yeah, that was a weird one. Playing the Chargers, didn't see him in the game, and then about midway through the game, they announced that he was questionable to return. And I was watching the game. I'm a Chargers fan, and I never saw him in there. So I'm guessing he heard it in pregame warm-ups. Not sure what happened there, but
right.
It's a calf. And I think he's one of those guys that I was talking about if he is available, grabbing if you are a DeMarco owner, like you said. He's been battling some turf toe, and we know that Derrick Henry, we saw what he could do in that game that DeMarco did get banged up in. Mm-hmm. He had a solid game there, so I think he's worth picking up and stashing if you got room.
And Hearns, the kid from Jacksonville, how is that going to affect Blake Bortles? Like, Blake Bortles has been giving. I started him last week over Roethlisberger, so I got to see him give me some decent fantasy numbers, although he's been sucking in real life. How is the loss or possible loss of Hearns going to affect that going forward? And should I just go ahead and run with Roethlisberger this week and just give old Bortles the old heave-ho?
I think it's time, man. I like you said, Bortles has been definitely not as bad fantasy-wise as he has been, in general this year. I think if you got Big Ben, I don't like the loss of Hearns is just another reason why I don't like Bortles moving forward. They got some tough matchups coming up too, definitely. I mean, week 11 or week 12, they're at Buffalo, then they're home to Denver, home to Minnesota, and then at Houston. So it's not looking good for the fantasy playoff portion of their schedule for sure. So yeah, I'd say I've given up on Bortles for sure.
There it is. He's Willie Lovato, founder of Fantasy Football 24/7. Check him out and follow them on Twitter at Fantasy Ranks. Give me some good, some not so good matchups this week. Some guys that if you got another option, you're gonna probably need to sit them this week.
So I don't know. I'll start with a guy that I don't think you could sit at this point, but I think Jay Ajayi owners might want to lower expectations this week. I know the matchup does seem very good against San Diego, but this defense, even though it's been banged up, they've been really stingy against the rushing opponents as of late. They're only giving up just over 85 yards per game. Still have not allowed a 100-yard rusher all season, and they haven't given up more than 65 yards to a running back since week 3 to Frank Gore. So
wow.
I know that the sights are high for this guy, but I think this week could be a back to reality moment for JJ.
You look at him as trade bait right now? Somebody that you may have track somebody for?
Yes, absolutely. I actually tweeted that out yesterday. That this is probably the ultimate trade bait if you ask me. This dude's how is his value going to get any higher?
Right.
I think this is a perfect time, and he's another guy that has a pretty tough schedule going into the moving forward, and you can get probably some big things for him. So yeah, I think I'd definitely look to trade him if I owned him.
All right, a couple more questions for you before we move into the matchup segment where some of our listeners want to know who they should start over another guy. Tomorrow, we got Cleveland and Baltimore tomorrow. Are there any worthwhile starts tomorrow night? Like, I've got Terrell Pryor, but he's battling with some stuff, a little limited practice today and all that kind of stuff. There's also Isaiah Crowell. He's been up and down this season. Mike Wallace, another guy who has the ability to break game. We saw him last week. What was it, 85 yards, something like that last week. But from your perspective, who if anyone is there worth starting if you have another option on either of these teams tomorrow night?
I think that comes down to the size of league you play in. I know personally I'm going to be rolling out Corey Coleman out there.
That's a nice one
for the Browns too. I think he can have a pretty good game in a game that it could easily see the Browns going down early and then they have to play catch up for the rest of the game. They got to throw it, and Corey Coleman's that deep threat. We saw what he can do before he got hurt. So yeah, I wouldn't mind rolling him out there. Starting Terrence West for sure against this Browns defense. That's been pathetic. So yeah, Terrence West and Corey Coleman are two other guys that I wouldn't mind rolling out there.
All right, let's go to some of the questions here, or the dilemmas from the listeners. And by the way, I'm talking right now with Willie Lovato. He's filling in for my guy Matt Lutovsky from the Sporting News. He, in fact, is the founder of Fantasy Football 24/7. I want you guys to make sure you follow them on Twitter at Fantasy Ranks. All right, here's the first one. The New England defense. These are defenses. Okay, New England defense or versus Seattle, Baltimore versus Cleveland, or the Bucs versus Chicago. Somebody's looking to pick up a defense off the waiver wire, and they want to know which one of those defenses you think has a better chance of success this weekend.
Oh, I think it's got to be the Ravens. If you can grab them, I think they've been probably the biggest surprise as far as defenses this year, and I think it's one of those cases where you pick up whatever defense is playing the Browns and put them in there.
But you know what though, Willie, like the Browns have been, they've been hanging tough. They just a bad football team. They haven't been like getting like slaughtered, but I see where you're going with that. Randall Cobb versus Tennessee, or Jordan Matthews versus the Atlanta Falcons.
I got to go Jordan Matthews for sure. I think he can have a monster game. I think that they're going up against a very, very weak Atlanta defense. I think he could have a big game this week.
Okay. We've got tight end Zach Ertz against the Falcons again, and the kid Brait from the Buccaneers versus the Chicago Bears defense.
Give me Zach Ertz. I think hopefully he's kind of doing what a lot of us expected him to do early on after a very good performance, 8 receptions, 97 yards last week. Hopefully that continues. I'm rolling Ertz out there.
All right. The other voice that you're hearing is Willie Lovato, founder of Fantasy Football 24/7 on Twitter. He's at Fantasy Rank, so make sure you guys follow him. If you don't get your questions in tonight, you guys can also probably just hit Willie up on the old Twitter machine and see if he'll help you out that way. Enunwa, kid from the Jets, versus that Rams defense, or same game, Tavon Austin versus that Jets defense.
I got to go with Quincy. I think Enunwa he's had a couple big games. We've seen kind of what he can do. I think he's a go-to guy there. Definitely watch out, see kind of what's happening with quarterback situation. I know Fitzpatrick, spring knee, did practice today on a limited basis, but if he can't go, I do think that affects Enunwa's value moving forward. I like him a lot more with Fitzpatrick at the starting
All right.
position.
We got 2 more here. Here's the quarterback one. Prescott, Dak Prescott. Why did I write this down like this? I put Dak Prescott versus Dallas. That's not right. They're playing Pittsburgh. Dak Prescott versus Pittsburgh is who they're playing. Or Elijah Manning versus that Bengals defense on Monday night.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to roll with Eli, though. I think he's another one that is starting to get it together after a slower start to the season, 4 touchdowns last week. And this Bengals defense has been disappointing for sure this year. I think Eli has another big game on Monday night.
All right, here's the last one. Travis Kelce, a man who liked to throw flags on the referees, versus that Panthers defense, or Martellus Bennett versus that Seahawks defense.
I think you got to go with Kelce on this. I think it's a safer play for sure. Kelce's the guy there, and you could easily see Gronk taking and eating into all of Bennett's points.
There it is. Willie Lovato, I appreciate you doing this, brother. Last minute, you did a wonderful job filling in for the homie Matt Lutovsky. I want you guys to make sure you check out Willie on Twitter at Fantasy Ranks. The name of the site is Fantasy Football 24/7. Now, when I Googled it, it went to a sports blog page. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that's what you do too.
Yeah,
just Google Fantasy Football 24/7, and you'll be right up in the building. And you can read all the nice stuff. What were you about to say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, you're good. Yeah, I was going to say you can find all of our writer stuff on there. FF247.sportsblog. We are working on the website right now, and then we're excited to get that thing rolling too.
There it is, my man. Like I said, I appreciate your time and I appreciate all the information. So we'll do it again soon, my man.
Thanks for having me on, man. Take it easy.
No problem. Once again, that's Willie Lovato. He's the founder of Fantasy Football 24/7. On Twitter, he's at Fantasy Ranks. Don't forget, coming up in about 10 minutes or so, the big homie, crazy-ass dude, Guy Torry, is going to join me. We're going to talk about his Unsung special tonight on BET. You got to check your local listings for that joint. We're going to talk about his Lakers. He's a big Lakers fan. The Rams being out there in L.A. now. He's a cat from St. Louis, too, so we got to talk to him about what's going on. I saw like a picture of Sunday in St. Louis now. It's a damn ghost town. So we'll talk to him about that, and we'll get his perspective on my man Donald Trump. not my man. Guy likes to wear, like, if you follow him on Twitter and Instagram and all that, at Guy Torry, you'll see where he had these F Donald Trump hats. I actually want one too. It's kind of too late now. But whatever, I think it's a cool thing, and like I'm not that dude that's like you gotta respect the office of the president. I don't believe in that life at all, dude. If you brazenly show me that you don't respect me, I'm out the game. It's a 2-way street, cuz like we not playing that situation. I'm like, well, you're the president, so I have to respect you. Sorry, dude. I'm good on that whole situation. Like, this country ain't never respected me or the people who look like me, so don't look for me to start now, cuzzo. Let's see what's going on in this chat room, man. By the way, it is the One Mic with Big Mike show here on Spreaker.com. That's SPREAKER.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app, and I'm on this tune-in situation if you got that. I'm also live on the website, OneMicWithBigMike.com. You guys holler at your people, man. Tell them to jump inside this live interactive chat room. Just click on that little thought bubble, and it'll be right up in here. I am No Doze in here. Big L, of course, Renee, the homie Peter Quill's up in here. Like, Big L talking about he hitting that gym. Big L talking about, he told me the other day I should start doing like 4 hours of cardio. That can't happen, dude. At all in life, man. That can't ever happen. Also, if you want to get in on this conversation, I've been talking about Trump a little bit. 404-902-8104 is the number you can text. You can also, like I said, jump inside the live interactive chat room or leave your comments below the live streaming video. Just got through talking to the homie Willie Lovato, getting your fantasy lineup set and all that kind of stuff. Hold on to me. We got to refresh here. So back to the conversation before we get to Guy Torry. Back to what I was saying earlier about what's happening right now. Like, y'all my people, man. I don't want y'all like freaking out about this situation, you know, and understanding that there's only so much you can do. You know, when stupidity has rationale outnumbered, there are those times in life where stupidity wins out. You know what I mean? And then some things, to be honest with you, some things reside in ignorance. And let me be very, very clear that there is a difference between ignorance and stupidity. Sometimes you just don't have the knowledge. Like, I was talking to my partner this morning, and he was telling me about how he explained to his wife last night how the Electoral College works. You know what I mean? And like, she was kind of in disbelief that, wait a minute, they said my vote counts. And then when it was described to her, because apparently Hillary Clinton, I mean, I don't know if it's any, you know, if it's any solace to anyone, but she won the popular vote. So more individuals voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. But because of this antiquated, archaic, born out of slavery, or the need to be fair to slave owners, thing called the Electoral College, because that's a thing, guess what, man? We got a new president, and he's a freaking douchebag of all douchebags. And I tweeted this earlier today. Like he pulled one of my moves, to be honest with you. Like, if they was to ever let somebody like me be president, like, I'd pick somebody as bad or worse than me to be vice president. So just in case you think, like, we just gonna off this dude, yeah, you gotta deal with this other psychopathic douchebag as well. Like, the dude that feels like if a woman have an abortion, she need to be forced to have a funeral. Paid by her, by the way. The same woman who probably couldn't afford to raise a child, now I got to come up with some money to bury a fetus or an aborted fetus. Miss me with, and this is a real person that is the second in command. Like, he's one accident away from running the country, essentially. You know what I mean? Also, man, let me shout out to my pops as well, man. Like, you know, as much like strife as me and my pops have had in our relationship, me growing up, there's one thing that I always remember him saying to me back in the day. He was like, the president don't have no power, man. He's a figurehead for the rest of the world. Like, this is a dude that he got to ask permission. Like, look at Barack Obama, right? They gave that dude Romney Care and said, look, this is what we'll let you have. Put your name on it. We'll start calling it Obamacare. Like, that dude wanted a single payer system where everybody could get health care and just walk in and get hooked up when you sick or you break your arm or something. He didn't want this situation that's going on right now. But he's the president. You got to ask permission to Congress and Senate and all this kind of stuff. They got to allow you to do things. So shout out to my dad, man, for actually, you know, giving me that as a very, very young player. Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you guys. Oh, I did mention about, you know, the dude talking about he wanted to put hands on me because I ain't vote. That's always funny. You know what I mean? But I want you guys to also understand this too, man, that this ain't something that you're supposed to be using to shame people into. You know what I mean? You know that game used to pull on the little chicks back in high school to get them to give you something. You know what I mean? Like, man, you need to quit being a little girl. Be a grown. I thought you was a grown woman. Like, that type of thing. Come on, man. People got to be better than that. Like, Like, if you telling me, like, okay, there's Hillary Clinton, which, like, I don't know. I don't know what people's problem with Hillary Clinton is necessarily. Except aside from the fact that she got a vagina, she seemed like a regular politician to me. You know, oh, she's crooked. Oh, she's taking money under the table. When they stop doing that? You know what I mean? Maybe it's like the being spoiled by Obama thing. Because the other thing I told my old lady, like 8 years ago, that night that he got elected, I was like, man, this dude seemed like he too good of a dude to be a politician. I mean, like, he's like an idealistic dude, like Bernie Sanders, like dudes who actually want to make change, but really you're going to find out soon enough that ain't what your job is, because, you know, your job is to take orders from other people and then stand up in front of people and talk about stuff that they tell you to talk about. So I was like, man, he seemed like too good of a dude. Because, like, for the most part, Hillary Clinton is what American politics is. She exemplifies the fact that there really ain't no place for black folks in American politics. Come on, man. We got to, at some point, come to that realization that we just stay here, man. They want to tell us and get you to believe that this your home. You just stay here, cuz. Just like me. At any given time, these folks want to start taking your rights away. Yeah, they gonna do it. I mean, it's already started happening. I keep mentioning that documentary, man, 13th. Like, at the very beginning, as soon as they start talking about that kind of like that bomb that they threw up in the amendment, like, yeah, slavery over, except if you commit a crime, then it's back to bondage, cuz. And then you start looking around, that stuff is everywhere. This electoral college, all these remnants that kind of just go unnoticed from the time of slavery, they still there, man. So you tell me how it's gonna be a situation where when you're free, when the crumbs of slavery are everywhere, like Hansel and Gretel. You know what I mean? They just lay them down so they can find their way back to that good old time. Yeah, I'm kind of good. You know, it's like the cruelest of cruel jokes. Speaking of jokes, comedian actor Guy Torry is going to join me here in just a couple minutes, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of this thing. We're going to see if, because comedians, they do a lot of reading, man. They do a lot of like reading of the newspaper and things of that nature to find material for their acts, man. So, I like talking to them because it ain't always about, craps and giggles. Like, these dudes always have, like my man Rodney Perry, Shang, Guy. These dudes always have some real insightful things to say. So when things like this come up, I don't need to go look for no, community organizer. I just, reach out, send a text to the comedian homie, Steve Wilson as well. Send a text to the comedian homies and, see if they want to holler at me. And the homie Guy said it's all good. Plus, just so happened, didn't even see this one happening, but he got something to promote tonight, so it works out for everybody. So let me go back to the notes real quick, because I only got like 2 more minutes left in this segment. I wanted to hurry up and get in and out with the fantasy dudes so I could, let this thing breathe, and I ain't want to have to rush through it and all this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, that's a thought I had today. Like just the election process in and of itself, it doesn't lend any credence to the candidates themselves. It's all about these campaign tricks that people try to pull. Because when these dudes are campaigning and these ladies are campaigning, they go to certain places. You know what I mean? They don't go to Hawaii. That's why it's such a big deal when Barack went back to the crib. That he went home, to hang out and tell the people I'm here for you. Because people don't go to Hawaii for what? They don't count. They don't go to Alaska. They don't go to some states that's in the embodiment of the United States. Is that the right word? You guys get what I'm saying. But for whatever reason, I asked my homie this morning. I was like, when the last time you was going to make a decision? And he was like, you know what, I wonder what the people in Iowa think. But that's what the politicians do. Just like the court of law ain't about guilt to innocence. It's about who got the slickest lawyer, who can pick the dumbest jury. It ain't about no damn justice. We see it all the time. So the whole thing is just a game that people are playing. They got nothing to do with what's right and what's wrong for the country. Everybody in it for themselves, including Hillary Clinton. Because at the end of the day, if you're honest about it, you're not really mad that Hillary lost if you voted for Hillary Clinton. You're mad that Donald Trump won. But I'm here to tell you that welcome to America, MFers. That's what the country's been. They've been waiting on this douchebag for many, many a year. They've been waiting on him. And, here he is. So we'll see what's next. I'm going to ask Guy, what's next? What's the next thing? Nuclear war, what's happening? And hopefully he'll have an answer. If not, we still going to have some fun talking about the Lakers and the Rams and, his comedy specials and all this kind of stuff. So we'll do that next. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm right here live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 7 o'clock on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Tune in, and, of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com. I'll be right back.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One Mic with Big Mike.
Ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One Mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah I Banged Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Pump Day.
Yeah, man, we up in here. One Mic with Big Mike show here on Spreaker.com, as well as the Spreaker app. Live on TuneIn, and, of course, my website, OneMicWithBigMike.com, here on a hump day, a.k.a. Trump Day. Shout out to the homie Rob Calloway, man. I'm also being heard on demand on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and the YouTube. You can get it all on demand. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and the iTunes. Streaming live video right now on the Facebook page at the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. You guys want to get in on the conversation, send me your text to 404-902-8104. And without further ado, I told you guys 8 o'clock, Big Homie was going to join me. We was going to chop this thing up, man, and figure out what's going on with the country, the world, the Lakers, the Rams, everything, man. Y'all give it up one time. Guy Torry.
What up?
What's going on, homie? It's been a minute. How you doing, man?
Man, as best I can, man. After last night, dog. I got a hangover. I got an election hangover.
Don't do that to us, man.
First of all, it was a hell of a campaign, a dirty campaign, a stressful campaign that was run. And then on top of that, the person that you wanted to win didn't win. That just makes it even worse. I mean, if the person that you wanted to win kind of like wins, then that kind of like heals all wounds. But, man, we got a fool in office,
man. I just got through saying that this dude is a legitimate crazy person. The other voice that you're hearing is comedian, actor, Guy Torry. Make sure you guys are checking him out. You guys got to check out Guy Torry. He's like the hardest working dude ever in life. Check him out.
I don't know. I think Kevin Hart got me beat, but I'm trying to get on his butt.
Well, he just might be getting more money, dude. I see you on everybody's TV show, everybody's radio show. I'm like, man, I'm gonna hit Guy. He ain't gonna have time for my little thing. Anyway, follow him at GUYTORRY. You want to figure out when Guy's coming to your neighborhood to do his thing? www.guytorrylive.com. We're gonna talk here in a little bit about this unsung sibling rivalry thing he's got going on BET. You got to check your local listings for that joint.
Oh no, TV1.
I'm sorry. The other black channel.
The other black channel.
TV1.
The other wonderful black channel.
My man. Yeah, don't go looking for it on BET. You got to go to TV1.
Not tonight anyway. I mean, Unsung, man, is such a great series, man. I'm hooked on them, man. I was honored to be a part of it.
What's good with that though, man? Let's start there before we get all into this Trump nonsense or whatever. Let's talk about your situation, man, because you're doing some big things. You and your brother, Guy Torry. I dropped the whole "damn is he funny" thing earlier, Guy, but I feel like that's kind of generational. You have to be at a certain
that was Joe. Yeah, that was
yeah.
Joe.
You know what I mean?
I want friends on his thing. Let him have his little sayings.
But no, but that's your man. That's you doing this thing with him. A sibling rivalry on TV1. First of all, how did it come about? That they approached you guys to do this thing?
I got contacted by, since we're on the sports stage, I got contacted by a very good friend of mine, more like family, PR guy, does some PR for me, Tony Wiley, PR guy for the Washington Redskins. So he called me up, man, was like, hey, Unsung Hollywood called, they want to do a piece on you.
Okay.
I said, cool. Okay. At first I was like, well, wait a minute. My career is still going on. I'm not like a crackhead or in jail, or I'm not at the end, I'm not dead, so what's going on? I said, no, These Unsung Hollywood, they're doing on people who are still in the business. They're doing it while you're still alive. So that's why I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. And then they said, well, I want you and your brother. I said, well, wait a minute. Why me and my brother? Why can't I just do it by myself? And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But after a while, he talked me into it.
Wait, hold on. So why wasn't you gonna do it? Because they wanted your brother to? Y'all got that kind of real rivalry? You and Joe got that real rivalry like that?
Let's talk Philly Robert for a minute, man. Yeah, dude, let me tell you something. I've been in Joe's shadow for a minute.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time sometimes, you want to get out the shadow. And like being a little brother, man, come behind him in sports and school.
Right.
And then, doing the same profession. It's like, my career can really stand on its own. But I got talking to it. I ended up doing it, man. And it ended up being a really good piece, man. I'm proud of it.
My man. Make sure you guys check it out, TV1. Check your local listings. Be on tonight, so wherever you at in the country, make sure you check your local listings. Guy Torry, Joe Torry, sibling rival, Unsung on TV1.
And if you miss it tonight, it's on again Friday.
Please
on
believe.
TV1.
Yeah.
So if you miss it tonight, it's on Veterans Day. Shout out to all our veterans out there. It's on again tonight. Friday, if you miss it tonight. Because it's on right now, actually. So if you're listening to the show, DVR it and then catch it after, Big Mike is gone.
Well, look at that. We got Guy Torry competing against Guy Torry tonight.
Exactly, man. Hey, I'm spot polar anyway. I compete with myself every day. So, I got 3 personalities.
Okay, so look, man, you talk about having this election hangover. And the reason that I hit you, man, is because I didn't watch the election coverage like everyone else yesterday. Like I watched the Hawks beat the Cavaliers, and then I was like, all right, let me turn over here to Comedy Central because I want to see what
Roy. I wish I would have watched Lakers beat Dallas, but that didn't happen. Go ahead.
I watched my man Roy Wood Jr. and Trevor Noah do the thing on the night, or what is it called, the nightly show. And
right.
The first thing I noticed, man, the show comes on, and my man, both of these dudes are hilarious comedians. And the show comes on, and these dudes are like, man, hell no, we can't be funny tonight. I'm like, things is wrong. Something's like hella wrong. These dudes get paid to make jokes, and no one finds anything funny. So I was like, all right, tomorrow I gotta get one of my comedian homies on because we got to figure out what's going on. Because like the country needs you, man. You know what I mean? Things are horrible. The country need to laugh, guys. So where are we going with this, brother?
See, that's the part of me that wanted Trump to win. Is that I know I can extend my comedy career for 4 years, man, because he's a fool and he's a gift to keep on giving. Right. The other part of me that wanted Trump to win is that he's going to be so bad as a damn president.
It's real life.
They're going to be begging for Barack. They're going to be begging for Barack to get back in office.
Man.
Even though he can't do it, they're going to miss Barack so damn much. I miss him already.
Man,
this country, man, watching this whole thing unfold, man, it really did shed a light on what our country really is. Like, there's been a lot of racism, a lot of racist people in closets, man. Some of our own friends, I'm sure.
Yep.
And some of them came out when Trump started running. And then now that he won, they really took the hood off. We celebrating in the hood because we had a black president. You know, they coming out from under the hood because now they got who they want, the Grand Wizard in office. So it's sad because not only is this country showing how racist it is, but how sexist it is.
Right.
Hillary qualified. Hillary, say what you want to say about her. She's more qualified than anybody. And you're going to tell me you want this buffoon to run this country over someone who's proven to in government? And then I can't fly with that.
You know what I said, man, earlier? I said America got what it deserves, man, because this is who America is. Like, you've been hiding, and you mentioned them. You mentioned them taking the hoods off. I started hashtagging this like a couple of months ago. You know, masks off, hoods on. Like all those people that was in your office that you thought was the cool white people, they took the masks off, and put them hoods on. And it was like, let's ride now. What's really happening? Man.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? When Barack got in office, I said something 8 years ago. I said, this is about to put a big old magnifying glass on the country of America.
Absolutely.
And he about to see every zit and pimple. But this, my man, I don't even know what this is going to show people. The country the world got to be laughing right now, dude.
They are. Dude, let me tell you something. They were laughing at us. They were laughing at us in 2004 when I was in Romania, Bucharest, shooting a movie. And Bush was running for his second term. This is after the war started. And I was over there with a bunch of other film crews from England. And during the debates, he was leading the polls. I mean, they were looking at us like, what's wrong with you people in America? Awesome. And, I mean, this guy lied about the war, and he's winning. They didn't get it. They didn't get it, man. And now, Donald Trump, who was the biggest con artist around, conned America. He conned all his supporters, not us, but he conned. He said back in '98 in the People magazine interview that if he was running, he'd run as a Republican because Republicans are stupid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and so,
you're right. America's getting what they asked for.
He played
getting what they deserve.
He just played the biggest joke on everyone. Like one of my first comments on this show tonight was, I don't think anyone's more surprised than he is. Like, he probably woke up this morning like, really? Right. This just happened? Because now he got to go to work. He got to be an actual professional, which my man, I don't believe he has the capability of being in no circumstance, cuz.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you 200% on that.
Dude, this is so unbelievably stupid. It's like one of those, it's like the joke that eventually it's funny, and you know the punchline is about to come, but then the punchline come and the whole joke bomb. This is what's happened. The punchline just hit today, and the whole joke that was funny for the last year is terrible now because we have to live it. Look, man, I told folks, like, okay, let's get past my man saying that he could just walk up to a broad and grab her pussy. Let's go ahead and put that to the side if you possibly can.
Right.
But the one thing that you swear to God that he is, this businessman, he stay in court more than anybody. He cheat people out their money at every turn. And now you giving him the United States budget.
Thank you. But man, people, this country is so racist.
Man, yeah.
And so blind. Because and we should have saw signs of that back when affirmative action was voted down.
Mm-hmm.
Because affirmative action was covered so-called minorities, which I don't like using that word because there's nothing minor about me. The only people who are not minorities are white men, because everybody else is a minority. So it's a word to keep you feeling less than, and I'm not that. So anyway, but minority is anybody that's not a white male. So when affirmative action got voted down, they were just thinking about black people. Like, it only included black people getting ahead or black people advancing or getting opportunities that they felt we shouldn't have gotten.
Right.
They didn't realize that it covers white women, it covers Asians, it covers all women, basically, and all ethnicities. They were just so focused on, let's keep the black people down and let's vote it down. So that right there told you how racist this country was. So I saw it a long time ago.
On a brighter note, though, shout out to you guys out there in L.A. Got the weed law passed. You know what I mean? You get to roll up and smoke up. So, if it ever gets too bad, at least we know one part of the country will be happy about something.
I did vote for that to pass, even though I'm not a weed smoker. What I am proud of is that the condom, the porn one passed. Like, there was a law like, do porn stars have to wear a condom while having sex? And they were trying to make them wear condoms. And I'm like, you know what? No. it's not porn if someone's got to stop and put a condom on.
Wait, back up. I heard someone mention that earlier. I heard Ron Funches, as a matter of fact, mention that last night. So wait a minute, that's a real thing? Like, dude, California's a different world, dude.
Yeah, this is the second time it's doing a ballot. It was on a ballot a few years ago too. It's like, wait a minute, but it's kind of a twofold though, because number one, I don't want to look at porn. I travel a lot. I'm in a hotel room, so sometimes I need a happy ending.
My man.
So, I don't want to look at porn and dude got a condom on, but at the same time, I don't want to see his shaft either. So. It could have went either way for me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see her. I ain't really trying to see him.
This is outstanding.
And plus, my homegirl, we was looking at all the measures and all the propositions that was being voted on. She said, "Well, I'm gonna vote no because I don't want to spend my tax dollars with someone standing around a monitor seeing if
somebody got on the rubber."
So a condom monitor. So we paying extra taxes for a condom monitor?
That's outstanding, man. California is outrageous.
California wild, man, but I love it.
Weed and rubbers. Vote on it today.
Weed and rubbers. That was this election. Weed and rubbers.
Oh, man. He's Guy Torry, man, the friend of the show for a long time now, man. Make sure you guys follow him, Twitter and Instagram, at Guy Torry. Check out the website so you know when guys in your area, because the dude is everywhere. You see him on Twitter and Instagram.
Too, man.
In Atlanta?
Yeah, man, I'm there December 1st through the 4th.
Got to bring the old lady out, man.
Atlanta Comedy Theater.
Yeah, out there in Gwinnett. Yeah, we got to bring the old lady out, man. Also, man, he's got Unsung. It's on right now.
I want to come in live. I want to do the show live, man.
At the crib? Bet.
Yeah, come on. I want to come on.
My man. That'd be a first for the One Mic with Big Mike show. No doubt. Let's talk about those teams out there. This is a crazy thing with you, though. You from St. Louis. And the Rams they left St. Louis, and last time I talked to you, was like, good, they need to leave and come to L.A. But I saw some video last week. My man, Sundays is a ghost town in St. Louis now. You been back on a Sunday?
I have, man, and my mom still lives there. And, it is a ghost town, man. But you know what? A lot of people didn't support the Rams when they started losing and stuff, man. It's kind of whack. You know what I mean? But then when they leave, now people want to cry about it.
Mm.
And from what I understand, they gave them every opportunity to stay. I mean, for St. Louis to get their stuff right. They missed all the deadlines, and then bam. Now when they leave, they're like, oh, you should have left. No, you blew all the deadlines, so don't come crying now.
What's the situation like in L.A.? Because there was a kind of a little bit of worry. Because L.A. is just so busy and there's so much to do. You got USC, you got the Lakers, you got the Clippers, you got so much to do club-wise and the beach, whether they were going to be able to field a fan base, a real committed fan base. So what's the fan base looking like out in L.A. for the Rams right now? Because they ain't winning right now either.
I've been to 3 games already, man, and the stadium's been packed. The enthusiasm is there. Now, we got to start putting some W's on the board. Our defense is playing well, but our offense is anemic. Our offense, we're 31 in offense. We're number 12 in defense. What does that tell you? You know what I mean? And so something, and we're number 4 in penalties. That means discipline.
Yeah.
So Jeff Fisher got to go, man. I don't know what he has on the owner. I don't know what tape or whatever, but he needs to go, man. Because it's Jared Goff. I knew we were in trouble doing Hard Knocks when Jared Goff, our quarterback, said he didn't know where the sun rises and sets.
In the west,
You're a quarterback, and you don't know where the sun rises and sets. And they want to say that, to be quarterback, you got to be smart. And that's why they didn't get blacks an opportunity for years. But this kid gets drafted first, and you don't know where the sun rises. I mean, where was his test? What was his Wonderlic test? Who did his Wonderlic test when they did that? How did he slip through the cracks?
Dude, I said it during Hard Knocks.
Somebody like Dak Prescott, you know what I'm saying, balling right now.
Yeah, 4th-round kid, right?
Yeah, 4th-round kid.
Staying with the Rams, though, you kind of started off with it. The whole Jared Goff thing is that the sentiment out there that they missed on that pick? Because I don't see any reason for this kid not to be starting right now. I mean, it's halfway through the season.
I don't know what. Well, here's the thing: Jeff Fisher, when he gets in a doghouse, man, when you're in his doghouse, you're in his doghouse. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So. We did that with Vince Young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the word is he doesn't like young quarterbacks. And the word is that really bothered him, too, when Goff didn't know where the sun rises to set. So, and he doesn't like rookies. So, remember when it was I think with Steve McNair, he didn't start him right away.
Right. Chris Chandler was there.
When he was in Houston and then made the transition to Nashville. So, I don't know, man. I'm a little disappointed because we were in every game except one, the 49er game, first game of the season, and we should have beat them. We really should be 8-0 right now.
Oh.
We lost some very winnable games.
Well, there's
Go
that.
way over to London to lose a game we should have won. I don't know what's up with our kicker. He's missing field goals. He used to be money. So I don't know what's going on.
To a much more what should be a much more pleasant subject for you. And the other voice that you're hearing is comedian actor Guy Torry. He's on Twitter and Instagram at GUYTORRY. Online, his website is www.guytorrylive.com. And make sure you guys check your local listings for Unsung Sibling Rivalry on TV One. Let's talk about these baby Lakers, man. The Lakers for
I
what?
like that. The baby Lakers.
But that's what they are.
Youth Lakers.
Here's the thing. The one thing about this team, I don't know how many games they're going to win, Guy, but the kid D'Angelo Russell, he's entertaining to me. The kid that's probably the best player on the team, Jordan Clarkson, he's kind of understated, so it kind of balances itself out that way, kind of like a Steph and Draymond type thing. You got this, dude. I've always liked Julius Randle's game. Then you got Luke Walton out there coaching these guys. Apparently, for what everyone's saying, he has a much better level of relatability to these players, and he can get through to them, get them to play hard, get them to go out there against not the last year's champion, but last year's runner-up, and blow their asses out. So you, being a Lakers fan, my man, by the way, full disclosure, Steve Wilson said in 2 years the team is going to be back in contention. And that's what Steve Wilson told me last year. When Kobe was coming to the end of the run, he was like, all right, now it's time. In 2 years, the Lakers will be back in contention. I don't know how you feel about that, but you can tell me.
I think we're going to I think if we stay focused right now, and I'm saying it right now, you heard it here first, I think we can make the eighth season playoffs this year in the West. Yep, I think we can.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
If we come out and play consistently, because, I'm a huge Kobe fan, diehard Kobe fan, right? But with him gone, I think the players can exhale right now.
Yeah.
And they're playing Nick Young is playing defense, man.
Absolutely.
Nick Young is playing and good defense too.
Surprisingly, right? Putting forth effort.
Yes, exactly. And actually, D'Angelo Russell is not playing bad. At first, I was like, you know what? Let's trade D'Angelo to DC for John Wall and bring John Wall in. But now I think over the summer, D'Angelo grew up, man.
He got that LA swag though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, LA swag,
yeah.
and he's shooting the ball with more confidence because I think the weight of Kobe is off of them, and now I think what they're saying is, you know what, this is our era.
Yeah.
Magic and Kareem had their era, Shaq and Kobe had their era, Kobe and Gasol had their era. Now this is our era. Let's do something. Clarkson, Jordan, Randall, Swaggy. Well, Swaggy's kind of on the other side, but Ingram. And I even like, young Lou Williams playing ball.
Lou is like the veteran on this squad now, man. He's that veteran, thing that's going to make them a solid squad, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then Luke Walton, man, you got, like I said, he changed the culture around there, man, and that makes a difference, a big difference. So I'm ready. I'm excited again, man. I haven't been this excited to see the Lakers in a couple of years.
My man. Well, what's the situation with the ownership, though? Because I know there's still that little bit of tension with Jeannie and her brother, since the old man passed. And I know, winning seems to kind of be the best deodorant for things like that.
Well, here it is, man. Look, I call Jim Buss short bus because the moves he was making was strictly like he was doing short bus. But now, with the team we got now, bringing in Luke Walton, bringing in these young players, keeping veterans on the bench, like Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, bringing in Brian Shaw, and then bringing back, or having Swaggy on the team. He's a veteran, and he can teach a lot. So I like that. So now he's out the short bus. He's in an Uber X now. So he's not ready for the Bentley or Lamborghini, but right now we put him in an Uber X because he's doing some good things right now.
Before I let you go, brother, what else we got to look forward to? You say you're going to be in the A in December, but, between now and then or whatever else you want to tell the people about, what else can we look for you to be doing? You said you was doing a movie overseas last year? Like, what? Oh, I ain't tell you.
No, this was a couple years ago.
Let me tell you what happened the other day. It wasn't even the other day. Dude, I walk in the bedroom, right? The old lady's watching TV. And some movie that you in, I don't even remember the name of it. You getting your ass totally kicked by this white woman and getting stabbed and everything.
Don't say a word.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas and Brittany Murphy.
Hey, I'm like, that's my dude. Fight back.
Yeah, man. And Tech said, get your ass whooped by this white woman.
Damn
Guess
right.
What? I got my ass whooped by that white woman.
My man.
I mean, she beat me like Trump beat Hillary. Goddamn.
You stupid. So what else we got to look forward to before I let you go,
This
brother?
coming Monday, man. This coming Monday on the Steve Harvey Show, the talk show, Kings of Comedy Reunion. I was the first host of the Kings of Comedy tour when I was 5-6 years in the game. I was more like the prince of the Kings of Comedy. But we did a reunion show with Cedric Entertainer, D.L. Hughley. We did a big, wonderful tribute to Bernie Mac.
Yeah,
a special guest on there doing that tribute to Bernie Mac, and some special guests in the audience that came for the tribute. And Steve Harvey, man. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be insightful. And I can't wait, man. And my documentary is, I just had a meeting today about my documentary about somebody financing it. So it's all good in the hood, man. I can't wait to be in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. Uncut, unplugged, unbelievable. And when the Lakers make the playoffs this year, my friend, we're going to have to talk again.
There it is. The Steve Harvey Show is on Fox, too, right?
It's I think I think you got to check your local listing.
Okay. So, check your local listing.
I think it's different. It's syndicated, so I think it's in different markets. It's different things.
Man, it's like, I'm not a person that get when celebrities die, it happens and it's cool. Like when Prince died, I wasn't like, oh my God, Prince is gone. But I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. When Bernie Mac passed, I was like, man, that ain't cool. I was never cool with that. Man. Like I watched that milk and cookies situation today, right now, and laugh like I'm looking at it the first damn time, my man. So yeah, good. I'm glad that's happening, man. A tribute to the late great Bernard McCullough. That's his real name, right?
Yeah, man.
My man.
Yeah, man.
Guy, I appreciate you as always, man. Like every time I reach out to you, man, it's always a yes, and I appreciate you supporting what I do, brother. Thank you so much, and I'll talk at you, brother.
Thanks for always having me, man.
All right, you got it, brother.
All right, bro.
That's Guy Torry, man, comedian, actor, friend of the show, Twitter and Instagram. He's at GUYTORRY. Get on his website, www.guytorrylive.com. Right now, going on TV One as well as again on Friday, he said, you got Unsung, sibling rivalry, him and his brother. They do like a little, I guess, the Unsung situation is kind of a mini documentary on his life growing up in the shadows of his brother, Joe Torry. Back in the day, you guys know him from Poetic Justice. If you're around my age, the Def Comedy Jam scene, one of the first, like all the great comedians we see now, man, most of them started there. Harvey, Ced, DL, JB Smooth, Chris Tucker, all these folks started on Def Comedy Jam, and apparently I saw a promo the other day on HBO. They bringing that joint back. Shout out to the homie Matt. Matt checking in the chat room. You guys can too. Tell your friends, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We having some real conversation. I ain't had look. Usually when I have my guest on, I make sure I have my notes set up with the questions that I want to hit on or everything. Like that dude, man. I just talk to that dude, Guy Torry, like he's a dude. You know what I mean? It ain't no big thing. We just kick it, and a couple minutes later we hang up, and that's it. So yeah, I'm on Spreaker every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you sign up for your free Spreaker account. Spreaker also has an app for all your mobile devices. I'm also on the TuneIn app if you got that situation working. And of course, my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. You guys can jump on in this live interactive chat room. If you're listening via Spreaker or the website, just click on that little thought bubble icon that you see on the streaming player. Boom, you're in the building. You can also text the show at 404-902-8104, or you can leave your comments below this live streaming video I got going on the Facebook page. The Facebook page, of course, is at the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Make sure you like, what is it? Yeah, you like the Facebook page and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at One Mic with Big Mike. We're going to come back. I got to do On This Day. We're going to close down the show. We're going to, my man Matt left a comment in the chat room about the election. You guys want to chime in on this damn crazy ass election. You know what I feel like? I feel like I'm laughing because It's like one of those things like ain't really sunk in yet. And here's the thing. Speaking of Bernie Mac said something a while ago during that Kings of Comedy special. He said, stop believing every damn thing you hear. Believe S when S happens. And that's where I'm at with this right now. Like, okay, man, he's the president, whatever. But I ain't finna be like, oh my God, World War III tomorrow. Nah, I believe in when it happens. Believe whatever's gonna happen when it actually happens. How about we do it that way? I'll be back.
I only have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms. And your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
And now back to One Mic with Big Mike.
And here we go.
Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show. Glad you guys didn't hear that. I thought I turned the mic on. It is a hump day. Trying to get on over this hump. My homie Callaway, Rob Callaway from sportsnewsandbrews.com. The HBC report Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. Called me this morning. Asked me what day. Guess what day it is. And I knew it was going to be something stupid. So I didn't give him the old standard hump day. He was like, it's Trump Day. Jesus. It is, man. It is. It's oh, God. It's so crazy. It's Trump Day, dude. It's Trump Day, man. Cat's been angry all day. Cat's been looking for somebody to blame. It's got to be somebody's fault. Third-party people. Black folks. Black folks that voted for Trump or black folks who ain't voted. Got to be somebody's fault. Newsflash, man. It's America. This is America, man. All of y'all was one of those people that was getting fooled into thinking, Jeb and Jim Bob them was right. It's the greatest country in the world. I don't even know what that means. Great at what? You know what I mean? I profess that I just stay here. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Let me hit this on this day real quick, and then we'll get back and I'll get to some of the comments from the chat room that people posted while I was talking to my man Guy and the homie Willie from Fantasy Football 24/7.
Now, let's take a look back.
On this day.
What the hell is going on today? All right, let's get through this, man. On this day in 1953, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the 1922 ruling that Major League Baseball did not come within the scope of federal antitrust laws. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me on this, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is what jumped off the Curt Flood situation, where he kind of essentially lost his life. Curt Flood, black man, lost his life fighting for free agency in Major League Baseball. I think this is the decision that kind of jumped all that, or was a part of that situation, maybe. On this day in 1961, the PGA eliminates the Caucasians only rule. Look for that one to make a return. So, on this day in 1965, no, I meant to delete that. I'm sorry. On this day in 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard retired from boxing. In 1984, he came out of retirement to fight one more time before becoming a boxing commentator for NBC. It's pretty much the life of a boxer. You leave, come back, leave again. For whatever reason, Roy Jones Jr. say somebody gonna, well, he didn't say this, but he just feels like he wants somebody to kill him inside of a damn boxing ring. Straight up. He can't stop wanting to get hit in the face for a living. And ain't even for a living no more. He like fighting dudes like outside the liquor store and all. Yeah, whatever. On this day in 1984, Larry Bird and Julius Erving, some of you may know him as the Good Doctor, Jay, they got into a fight and they were both fined $7,500. This is that golden age of basketball that some of you guys act like you like. Like, man, LeBron's so damn soft, he wouldn't have been able to play in 1984. Like, I'm good on that. I'm not trying to see, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in a freaking cage match. Get out there and get buckets. Do that. Speaking of getting buckets, I can't see what the score, but it look like the Hawks are killing the damn Bulls. Anyway, that is your Hump Day edition, aka Trump Day edition of On This Day. All right, let's hit to the chat room real quick. I see the homie Big L up in there. Apparently something that I said was very true. Them clowns start World War III with the White House. It's always hard for me to remember what the hell I was talking about. I don't listen to the show. It just comes out of my mouth. Then the homie Matt. Let me tell you guys something about Matt real quick. I've never met Matt, but Matt and I have had dealings from my times on the radio to now here doing the show, producing the show with Jason Goff when I was here doing radio in Atlanta. Matt's like what I call an adult. You know what I mean? Matt's a dude that you can have an adult disagreement with. He ain't gonna be mad. He believe what he believe. And like a grown man, he stand on what he believe, and no matter what you say. You know what I mean? It ain't always a referendum on somebody else that don't believe what you believe in. And that's why, if I ever did meet Matt, I feel like we get along very well. You know what I mean? Because, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he say, and apparently he don't agree with a lot of stuff I say. But you know what that is? That's being a damn adult. That's called having adult conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? And also being able to see another person's perspective, even if it's not your own. Because Matt, he voted, and a lot of people didn't vote, and and I, like I said when the show started, I understand, man, that part of people that says, you know what, I need to pay homage through this. Even if I don't believe in this person or that person or this issue or that issue, I feel the need to pay homage to the people who came before me and laid the groundwork. Now, if anybody got an argument with that, you just trying to be obstinate. That's all you trying to do, and trying to be right. And that's what this world has become. This world of Facebook and Twitter and social media is all about I'm right and you're wrong. Instead of just you know what, that's your perspective, and I can respect that. I can see where that would come from. I can see the place within people where that would be a thing. And then there's the other side. Like me, I say, you know what? I definitely want to say that I appreciate those people making sure that I couldn't be, based on the color of my skin, I couldn't be disqualified from exercising my right. But also understanding that I have the right to either exercise it or not. It's just two different perspectives, man. It's about just being an adult. You know what I mean? Everything is embracing debate. We've got to be right and I've got to be wrong. Oh, that's what my man said earlier about Stephen A. Smith. Apparently, Colin Kaepernick ain't vote. So now it's everything that the homie does, the stuff with the kids, the stuff about giving his money to organizations to try to quell and stop police brutality against minorities and social injustice. Stephen A. Smith don't want to hear none of that. So let me get this straight. I don't know a lot about Stephen A. Smith, all right? But I'm sure a dude with the mouth that he has, if he was giving money to black kids and doing things of that nature, we'd hear about it. It'd be everywhere. So you went out and casted your vote. So you say. Don't nobody know. You say you did. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden, the same guy that most of us defended, right? That's his right. He can stand or sit. Is different now that he can't vote or not vote. That's the purpose of being in a democracy and having rights that you can or can't. And MF has got to be all right with it. You know what I mean? That whole I'm gonna shame you into doing this. Somebody shed blood for you to. Come on, man. Where we at? I'll say it again, man. If you MFers want me to start hollering about revolution and all this kind of stuff, call me when the blacks, the browns, and the natives decide, you know what? It's better if we do this together. I mean, because I can speak from black people. Black people feel like the only thing that ever happened in this country happened to them. Slavery and the civil rights movement. Because at the end of this month, you know what all y'all dumbasses going to be doing? Sitting around eating turkey and celebrating this BS holiday Thanksgiving, which is only a commemoration of genocide, cuz. But, who am I to speak? Whatever. Matt said I was surprised, that Trump actually pulled it off. But I shouldn't be. It just reaffirms the type of stuff I've seen during my time in corporate America. Folks with no experience getting opportunities that more qualified people won't ever get. And that, you know what? That's another perspective to look at. It's a mirror. And that's what I was trying to think about when I was talking to Guy. Like 8 years ago, one of the first things I said was like, this Barack Obama becoming the president is going to put a huge magnifying glass over this country. Now, Matt's right. And I'm just taking what he's saying and turning it into my thought process. This Donald Trump thing, this is a mirror, dude, because the way I saw white people acting, like the sensible ones, you know what I mean? The way I saw sensible white people acting and the look on people's faces of disbelief, like, oh my God, America is exactly what the Negroes have been saying it is. Yes, it is. And worse. You know what I mean? While people like Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she probably voted for Trump, but people like that who will get on TV and say, 2 Americas? Please, what 2 Americas? There's only 1 America. Yeah, your white cohorts found out real quick. Nah. It might be a couple of different Americas. Go ask some of the gay homies. Go ask women. Go ask black people. Go ask the Mexicans. Yeah. Let's see how long it's taking to put this fictitious wall up. Dumbass hillbillies. Yeah, hell yeah, build that wall. Dumbasses. People don't understand nothing. For us to be in the information era and for people to have no information, it's mind-boggling. The people that form opinions off of no information. See, that's why I kind of stay out of certain things. Like, if I haven't taken the time out to look and find out things for myself, I'm not going to sit up and try to debate with anybody about it. To me, that's a ridiculous position to have. Debating out of ignorance. You know what I mean? If anything, I should be the one asking questions. Just like about this whole, electoral college. Like, I just realized this. I just got the information the other day. I was watching John Oliver's show on HBO, and it being derived from slavery, like so many other things in this country. But I didn't realize that. So today, before I got on the show and wanted to start talking about it, I went and read for myself. I went and read all the stuff that I should read, that I felt I needed to read to get a better understanding of where it came. And that's what it was about. They wanted to be feared. And that's where all the 3/5 of a man thing came out. We want to be able to count our slaves because up north, you guys got more people than us. So then they birthed that whole thing. Shout out to Giovanni Hagen checking in on the Facebook. Danny Gaisito. Oh, Danny's the kid. He's the guy from Italy. So shout out to the soldiers over there. He said he's in control of the world's strongest navy, arguably the world's strongest army, and the best air defense in the world. My Knicks down 5 at the half to the Nets. the S is all effed up, my man. See, like, this is the time, man. Like, you gotta kind of, man, find like the stupidity and the humor in it, man. Because being angry and emotional, like, when the last time you saw somebody make a real solid decision, being angry and emotional? You know what I mean? About anything. This ain't really that, man. We at the point right now where the system is what it is. It's not broken, it just is what it is. It's always been this, And like I mentioned in the first segment of the show, these ghosts, what they call ghost voters, people that weren't taken into consideration when these polls came out. They was like, man, Hillary gonna run away with this damn thing. Well, people didn't take into consideration all these people who had been registered to vote all these years but hadn't shown up at the poll. Because my opinion being that they've been waiting. They've been waiting, like, man, I know I know David Duke or somebody in that realm is going to get to that point. Yeah, you know what? And that's a good point. I am no dose. He's in the chat room. You guys can jump on in too if you want to. Go to Spreaker. If you're listening on Spreaker or the Spreaker app or my website, just click on that little thought bubble. He says anger and emotion is how we got Trump. Exactly. You know, when you're all angry and all, people can lie to you, tell you they're going to do all these things. And that's another point I want to make too. We know we as rational people, we know that this man is a compulsive liar. Not like the type of liar that politicians are. Politicians lie, of course. They tell you they're going to do things they have sometimes no intention of doing, or don't really have the capability of pulling off once they get in the office. That's what politics is. And it's always been that way. It's going to always be that way. But I don't remember ever a time. I'm about to be 40 years old in a couple months. I don't remember a time, a dude that will literally walk up to you and smack you in your damn mouth. And then when you say, damn, Trump, why you do that? Do what? I ain't do nothing. Like, he's that type of liar. Do the thing. And then when you question him about it, immediately lie and say, what you talking about? That's terrible. That's a terrible trait to have just as a human being, not as a president. But the good part about that is, if there's a silver lining in it, is that he is that type of liar. And with him being that type of liar, stop believing all this craziness. You know, I'm going to save these coal jobs. I'm going to build this wall. I'm going to stop Muslims from coming in. Because, of course, being Muslim is a race of people. I'm going to test them at the airport. And they got to pass a test to get in. Stop believing liars. He's a liar. All those things are impossible. They're either financially impossible or they're just generally impossible. But like I am no dose is saying, people feel like they angry and they feel like they ain't been heard. And Donald Trump got commercials saying he gonna turn Washington upside down. Really? That's what you want? Like, that's how you fix a problem? You just start turning stuff over? Just ransack the house when you're looking for your keys, right? That's what you do? Guys, like, America's a very, very dumb and stupid country, man. Like, made up of idiots. We live in this social media era where everybody feel like what they got to say is so damn important when it's really not. And you got to have an emotional comeback to everything that you read or see. No one can ignore anything. It's so amazing. And so when you get a dude that's an attention whore and knows that he can't be ignored, the news media, they're just as implicit in this as anyone. That man ain't had to pay throughout his whole campaign. Barely had to pay for any ads until the very end. You know why? Because he's on TV every minute of every hour of every day. Free advertising. You feel me? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. We're talking about liars. All these people, my man came out talking about he was grabbing pussies and all that, and everybody got like mad crazy upset, right? Ain't nobody get upset when he was like, all these damn Mexicans is rapists. When he was like, black people, look at them. Everybody that's black in America is poor, they uneducated, they downtrodden, and they sickly. The white people ain't get mad about none of that. As soon as my man said he was grabbing pussy, it was like, wait a minute now. Hell no. I'm not endorsing Trump anymore. How much y'all want to bet 100% of those people who was on that bull lied? I heard that one dude that was a senator in Utah talking about, like, nah, there's no way I can stand by with this going on. But, you know, he's going to win Utah because Democrats just don't win Utah. Like, wait, what? What the hell? What? Yeah, man. I've said this for so, like, it always sounds like, you know, because people are used to people who do what I do, who do this. People feel like part of the gig is to say the most outrageous, outlandish thing you can possibly say to get a reaction. That ain't my bag. I say the things I mean, and when I say that I know America hates my black skin, I mean it to the core of my soul, man. I really believe it, and I believe in the same way that I believe that America hates women. Culturally, man, women are hated. Because if not, how you get a real estate con man in the White House that's running against a woman that, for whatever you think about her, she know the ins and outs of the situation at hand. She know what Washington is. I don't know how many of you guys know the story of her and Bill Clinton. She built that country bumpkin. Like, this thing that we saw over the last, I guess now, this year and the previous time when she ran, this woman had a plan from a very, very long time ago. She built this country-ass backwoods hick into a governor, a real governor in the state of Arkansas, then turned him into a damn president. Then, when he got caught doing naughty stuff to the interns, she didn't cut tail and run. It wasn't because she's some faithful woman. Hell no. She had bigger aspirations. She ended up in the Senate, Secretary of State, and then the final goal was to be the first woman president. Don't get it twisted and feel like this is some happenstance. She did what a lot of women do. If you got a woman in your life, when it's time to like plan some stuff, a lot of times a woman can be very meticulous about if it's something she wants, like her vacation or something like that. Oh yeah, oh hell yeah, weddings and stuff like that. Yeah, your woman gonna be like mad detail about those things. This woman wanted to be the first woman president, and she put the plan in motion many a decade ago. Only for it to be, when you think like, man, we got a Negro in the White House. This prime time for a woman is what you might think. Yeah, man, this country ain't advanced nowhere, man. This country ain't advanced nowhere, man. Barack Obama fooled people. He fooled them white folks. They thought he was going to jump up in there and they was going to have a perfect black scapegoat. That's what they thought was going to happen. We're going to blame this housing crash on this cat. We're going to blame these wars. And I'm going to say, these Peckerwoods, a lot of these ignorant ass Peckerwoods, rednecks, really and truly believe that this man has something to do with 9/11 when he wasn't even close, cuz. I don't even know if he was in the Senate at the time. See, if Barack Obama would have been on his job instead of golfing all the damn time, the damn terrorists wouldn't have been able to fly them damn planes into them buildings. Racists are so stupid. That's why when you hear me say I don't pay him no mind, some hillbilly in the back of the truck calling me a nigga and all this, I don't care. Like, this ain't 1960 nothing or 50 nothing. I don't have no, because you ain't got no dogs, you ain't got no rope, you ain't got no fire hose. All you got is your dumb ass and a word that you think you know. Yeah, I'm kind of good on that. You know what I mean? I'm kind of good because the same way you love your Second Amendment, you can love it. I'm just going to exercise it. Feel me? If it ever come down to a situation where people get that emboldened, where you feel like you about to start like trying to reenact some stuff from back in the day, I'm gonna say it like this: keep them nooses on them puppets. I don't know if y'all saw that at Wisconsin, and folks wanted to put a noose around a puppet of Barack Obama. Keep it there, cuz I'm already on the defense. Like, you show up and I catch a glimpse out the corner of my eye, you look like you got something look like a rope in your hand. Yeah, I'm already defensive about it, cuz. And then that's what's gonna happen. Like, I'm reading these things, my stuff on Twitter and whatnot. Because earlier today, I was being silly, and I was like, how many people going to work now, and white folks acting brand new with them and all this kind of stuff, and like people was like, yeah, man, my boss was already on some Trump stuff. Now the people that I work with, white folks, talking cash, you know what? Because Trump won. I was like, that's got to be an eye-opening thing, man. Like, you go to work, right? You work around white people, and I can assume just being a black person in America, you look around and be like, I know Janet ass. And you got your suspicion. But on a day like this, when the suspicion gets confirmed, it's still like a level of surprise. They're like, damn, all of them? All these white folks on that? Yeah, man. Welcome to America, man. And the crazy thing is, like, ain't nowhere to go, man. All these folks talking about they gonna go to Canada and all this kind of stuff. Your ass ain't going nowhere, man. You staying right here where you at. I got a list too of like celebrities, the chick from that show Girls, my man Walter White from Breaking Bad, Neo, talking about he moving to Canada, or before the election and all. They was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Canada and all this kind of stuff. For what, man? You know, again, I remind you guys, my dad, man, told me a long time ago the president is a figurehead. Now, of course, there is some reason for concern because he gonna surround himself with a bunch of other idiots. I guess Chris Christie and Giuliani, Sarah Palin, the idiot of all idiots. He's gonna surround himself with a cabinet full of freaking idiots, man. And that's gonna make it, you know what I mean? It's gonna make it even harder. Somebody mentioned in the chat room a little while ago, I am no dose. You know, it mentioned the Congress and the Senate. You know, that's still a thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be quite honest with you as a black man in America. I don't really see my life getting any worse, you know, than what I already think it is. You know, I'm gonna get up every morning. I'm gonna do the best I can to be the best dude I can, period. But I don't think they're gonna kill necessarily more black people, the police. They're gonna lock more black people up. You know, it's gonna be, you know, to white America, a lot of white America until today, the system was never looked upon as being broken. It was just a system. But now you got this maniac with crazy ass hair and spray tan and all this kind of foolishness. You got this dude sitting in the Oval Office. This dude is going to be giving like State of the Unions. Like, now, here's the thing that's going to really be jumping off. Like the comparing and contrasting. Like something bad is going to happen, right? Something real, real awful is going to happen. And we have a track record already of this cat when things bad happening. He turned the attention immediately on himself. See, look what I told you guys. Like, I was right again. Like, kids is getting murdered. Meanwhile, Barack Hussein Obama, I ain't never seen this. I don't know if any of you guys, I ain't never seen a president break down crying during an address to the country, man. Because babies keep getting killed in the streets. And nobody won't do nothing. These gun lobbyists won't do nothing. Feel me? I ain't never seen that happen. But now you got the total opposite. A dude with an ice heart, man. Kids is going to get killed again, unfortunately. Bad things are going to happen again. And this country is going to be looking to that dude. Congratulations. That's all I can say, cuz. Congratulations. You got exactly what you deserve. All you damn hillbillies in West Virginia and all these places who feel like these cold jobs is coming back, they not. And even if they come back for a little while, they going to leave because you know what it's called? It's called progress. You move away from things that are harmful into things that are more efficient, like wind and solar energy and things of that nature. These are the same people, right, that still ride around with their Confederate flags and tell you that this is not racist, this is heritage. We weren't fighting for slavery. Really, Jim Bob? What were you fighting for? We were fighting for a way of life. Okay, what that way of life contain? Slaves. So slaves, that would denote slavery, right? Right. Idiot. The damn flag is about slavery. It don't bother me none, but the stupidity surrounding it is exactly why things are where they are now. Because white people say, you know what? We got all the damn answers. Like in any walk of life, if your frame of reference for something comes from something that happened hundreds of thousands of years ago, you need to reevaluate your whole situation. Our founding fathers said this. If I showed George Washington or one of these cats a smartphone, his damn head would explode. Of course they made rules. They made rules that reflected the time. They're called amendments. You want to go to Webster and see what it is to amend something? It's to change. These men, at least they were smart enough. They weren't smart enough to view black people as humans, but they were smart enough to know that things are going to need to change. Over time, things are going to, this document is going to need to be amended. Yeah, you can't tell no white boy that, man. These dumbass folks. Nope, they wrote it, so that's the way it has to be. Sure it does. And in that same sentiment, my ass be running around here with tattered clothes on, picking tobacco or sugar cane or something. Man, these folks better kiss my ass. Like the day that is really gonna hit me is the day when some white boy get really like comfortable You know what I mean? Because I'm not, you guys hear me on the show, I'm not no fly off the handle type dude. But, like, one thing that don't happen in my life is don't put your hands on me. You can say what you want to me. I'm a grown man. You can say whatever you want to, call me what you want to. I got bigger fish to fry and people depending on me to be out of jail. You know what I mean? So, but you put your hands on me, all bets is off, cuz. And, trust me, you saw what happened at those polling places, man. These white boys showed up with their guns and people got shot and hurt. Trying to do what? Pick a president? That's what's worth, you know what I mean? Somebody's well-being. Yeah. Oh, I ain't leaving. My mama's still there. I got you. That's going to do it, man. I'm kind of over time here, man. I've been running my mouth, and I was scared this was going to happen, man. Didn't talk about no damn sports tonight, but whatever. I'm going to go check out the rest of this Hawks game. They got the Heat. We got the Spurs? Is it the Spurs and the Rockets later on? The Rockets play later on, I guess. So we'll get all into that. We back on Friday to talk some sports and all that. But it's one of them days, man. I told you guys at the beginning. It's a sports show, but it's my show. And certain times, life was going to happen, and it was going to need to be addressed. You weren't going to turn on ESPN and get this, or any other sports radio. They all day long, they was forcing themselves, boy. It was like, okay, let's talk about Tony Romo and Dak Prescott more. Let's talk about Monday Night Football and the bad calls from referees. Let's not talk about the presidential election. Get your ass out of here. It's the biggest thing that happened in America in like ever. And I ain't gonna say nothing about it because I got a sports show. Miss me, man. Appreciate you, Matt. I am No Doze, Peter Quill, the homie Big L, of course, the wonderful, wonderful Renee Cooper. All my folks checking in with me on Facebook here. Giovanni, Danny, Alan. Appreciate you, man. We're going to come back and do it again on Friday, man. You guys make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the #1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Catch the show on demand if you didn't get all of it. I'm on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, YouTube, Spreaker, of course, the Spreaker app, TuneIn, and One Mic with Big Mike. And make sure, man, you guys spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm back on Friday, man. Y'all take care.